Greetings, everyone. Tommy Hawksblood calling from the Big Island of Hawaii. Hope everybody's okay, safe, and all right where they are right now, considering you might be locked in there sometime real soon. So we're going to get into a couple of different things, the relationship between UFOs and lockdown. And if you don't think there's any kind of connection, you're going to have to really fine-tune and listen to what we're talking about today. Now, this is suggestions and ideas, but it's based on what's happening. But I want to introduce everybody before I get into anything. But I'll let Tina say hello first.
Hi, everybody. I'm Tina Bird here in the UK, and you can find me on Facebook, Twitter, and everything else. ET Garrow on Facebook, or you can find me on Hive, that's Human Individuals Visited by Extraterrestrials. And I'm here each week with Tommy and sometimes with Sasha, and we go into all different types of phenomenon and abduction stories. Sometimes we have a little bit of intermingling, but this week it's a bit of everything. So if you'd like to come on our show, be a guest or have an answer or have a question answered, then please do. You can come and speak to us at any time. If we don't know the answer, we'll find out for you. And Tommy, I'll hand it back to you and Sasha.
Well, I just want to let Sasha say hi. Greetings, Sasha. Just say hello, all right?
Yes, hello. My name is Sasha, and I love the truth and being around like-minded individuals who do as well, and that's why I'm here.
Well, greetings. All right, what I want to get into starting, I use the word UFOs and lockdown. Is there any kind of connection? Well, you have to understand, no matter what's happening in the world, we don't ever hear the truth or the important part of the truth. We get drips and drones of stories. But here's the thing. The idea of this virus being so dangerous, okay, where are they burying these people? Where are the bodies? And the funeral parlor is letting these bodies into them and everything else. I found out, I told everybody to check their funeral parlor, see if they can find out where they're burying these people. And see where they're burying all these super large numbers of people. Because if they bury them, supposedly it's supposed to die the virus. But how do we know that? Supposedly they said it could live on what? Paper and cardboard and things for like 3 or 4 days. Now that would mean everything that's going through the post office is contaminated. And they're still allowing the mail to go into everybody's hands and things like that. So there's a lot of contradictories to their own things that they're allowing. Never mind food. They're talking about shutting distributors of food in California. But there's a lot of little things that they're going to start pushing people to make them react in a greater way. They want everybody to run out and get the shot first off. Mm-hmm. Now, I tell you the truth. I'm not going to tell you the truth, but I want you to find the truth for yourself. What is in the vaccine? Check it out. It's dangerous.
Something to note, Dr. Fauci went public doing a live COVID vaccine, but I personally think it was just a saline solution because I think he's the inside man. He understands. I mean, he's got to understand what's inside his vaccines. He wouldn't, unless he's that dumb to actually take the vaccine.
Well, you get idiots like that. Can I also interject there? Here in the UK, they've done 500,000 to 1 million people with the vaccine. Here in the UK, you have to have 2 vaccines.
Oh my God.
So they give you the first shot, but they found out on the same day, the same morning. So in the morning, they give the first people the flu vaccine on the first day release. I think it was last week. And after a few hours of giving the vaccine, at least 3 or 4 nurses or people who had the vaccine had to be rushed to intensive care. Now, they're saying here in the UK, people, like my mum can't have the flu vaccine, people who have high reactions or have allergic reactions cannot have the flu vaccine because it causes greater complications. So no one's died from having the vaccine, but they've had severe allergic reactions to the vaccine, and it's taken them into hospital. Now they're saying this new super strain in the UK is out. It doesn't kill any faster. It just spreads faster. So they said there's 17 new variants to this new strain. And if there's 17 new variants to this new strain, then that vaccine's not working or it's not going to work.
Exactly.
It's not going to work.
So it's already out of date, and half the population can't have it because they have allergies.
Well,
so if
right
you have
now, Tina, they're locking all countries. 3 countries are doing it right now, locking news from coming into our country now. And they're going to try to stop it from coming here. So that's a problem for a lot of people. But it's like what we're talking about right now is probably the most horrible scenario that the world could face today. Outside of having a nuclear war tomorrow, I mean, what's happening today with the virus, with what they allowed to happen, what they allowed to do with it, and what they're trying to make us believe is the right thing to do with it is wrong. So if you realize in 2 weeks, UN Agenda 21 is actually in full force. And what's it mean? Look it up. I don't want to explain everything that's going on to you because you have a brain, hopefully, and you're trying to use it and trying to understand what we're creating and what's going to happen to this world today. Now, it's not even about religion. It's not even about black and white, even though they're making those the issues to take the people's attention off what they're really doing.
Mm-hmm.
Keep the people frustrated, keeping them like dumbed down the best they can. And what they're going to do, why do you think they're legalizing marijuana? Trying to get more people brain stagnant so that they're not out there thinking about changing the world. And they're going to do a lot of things right now to set up their implantation of eliminating population. So with that being done, who is it behind all this and why? All right, we talked about underground tunnels already, but you have to realize people still don't understand what's really happening. I don't think there's 1 out of 10 people even know that there's an underground city. I mean, and even then they don't care.
A lot of things here are happening in the UK and Europe. I don't know if people should monitor the news more carefully and actually listen to what's being said. Here in the UK, it was released this week that all, not just one, all the European leaders, prime ministers or presidents of each country are in their own little hideaways. They're all gone into a personal lockdown, which means they're not in their houses of parliament, they're not at their private address, they're all gone into lockdown because of the COVID, because one of the leaders has had it at a meeting. So all the you can only contact a minister, or all their meetings are now by video because they've all gone into self-isolation. So it means so they can't, you can't see an EU leader now. They're not where they should be. They're not at their
well, wait. You want to hear something really bizarre about that?
Yeah.
Mr. Trump's talking about the big Christmas party they're going to have. And he doesn't wear a mask. So, we got the most ridiculous system going on in the United States right now. Fauci was on all morning talking about the virus. And Pence, I call him Punce, they showed him getting his injection. But they showed it so that it looked like he really didn't even get it. All right? I mean, they can give it to you real fast, but to give it to you right, you can't do it within 1 split second like they showed him.
So, you got what vaccine? Because if you've got the vaccine they're having here in the UK, you've got to have 2 shots.
Well, we got 2 now. We just got the other one. We got 2 different ones now in the United States.
Yeah, it's going to be 2. Yeah, it's going to be 2 mandatory.
Yeah, the one's 2 shots. The other one we don't know yet because they just released it like 2 days ago.
Well, we know what's in it. We just don't want it.
We know it's dangerous. But both of them are more dangerous than the other because now we got Gates coming out. He wants to raise $36 billion for the virus. Why? All right, he's part of the UN Agenda 21. The people understand. See, people hear a story and they make a story from that story. No, link it to the rest of the pieces of the puzzle that are already there, and it all fits together. You can't take one piece of the puzzle and make a new puzzle. That's stupid. You need all the other pieces about the underground cities and what they're really doing and why. And the whole connection to the alien thing, which people don't understand at all. Well, there's aliens out there somewhere. No, they're here. The government's working with them, and we got problems because of that.
So here in the UK, sorry to cut you off again, Tommy, because I'm not sure if our news reaches you in the States. But this last 3 weeks, we have been inundated on the web, in newspapers about contact and alien life. They're really ramping that up here in the UK. They're pushing it. It's on news channels. They found another signal from is it Bootle? I'm not sure. Is it a star or a piece of space? So they've got radio signals coming from Bootle. They've got radio signals coming from another part of space, back like civilization signals, radio life signals. I'm not sure, but Bootle definitely rings a bell. and something else. So there's 2 or 3 of them out there. They're getting radio signals back from. So there's definitely life out there. But also there's a Navy pilot. He was an American. Yeah, I can see your thing is going off there. Yeah, the American pilot took a picture on his iPhone of a UFO that was released, and an underwater. What are the underwater ones called? There's an underwater UFO came out, and someone took a picture in the military of that and released it. And there's all types now coming forward saying there's pyramids and triangles being spotted all over the world, more and more each day, and it's being released more.
Well, mine's still in danger.
Kinda.
You got your counter ready, Tina? You got.
Yeah.
So here's the thing. Here's what's happening. All right. You know they're showing. Oh, yours is
0.
0 right now. Put it next to your
Mm-hmm.
head. Put it next to your breast.
Ah!
There he goes. There he
Oh,
goes.
it's radiation. Can
Yep.
you see that?
Yeah, we see that.
Is that the bottom one?
Yeah,
No,
micro
yeah,
Teslas.
hers is the bottom. Well,
How can I be
we
It's
realize
not, no,
I
don't
do.
take away from my head. It's gone down to nothing.
Right.
Mhm.
Well, we
How?
know. Tina, do you ever? I mean, do you
Yep,
listen to
there he
me?
goes.
I know you like what I say, but do you listen to me? They're still playing with you, Tina. They keep control over you, and I think, and I hate to say it, that's why you're still alive.
Not for much longer, eh? Keep
Well,
that
your
up.
radiation is in your body. How it comes and goes has to be something different than mankind on this planet knows about. Because
Right.
there's no possible way it could go on and off.
0.16 under my arm there. Don't know if you can.
But here's what I want to suggest. They're pushing all these things on the news about them arresting and handcuffing black people again. Here's a scenario. Let's get all the people that hate the police. Let's stop funding them so the police are in control and leave it to the federal government to be in control over everything. So no state will have the right to do what they want, and the government will be forcing everything they want to do. And then when they declare state emergency, whatever they want to do, then they'll have,
92.
Tina, what are we going to do with you?
100. What's the 100? I was
Wait,
wrong.
is that- Is that a millirads or rads?
No, that's micro Teslas.
Okay, micro Teslas. Okay.
1.97 micro Teslas. That's pretty high.
So last couple days ago, I drove around my parking lot in town where the 2 towers are. The one tower has no radiation around it. And
You
no,
said, yeah, deflected radiation.
but the one on next to it, it's not directly close to the tower. You got to take like maybe 30 steps, 50 steps away, because the beam must come down on a triangle where it hits the ground and flows across the ground. Because when I went further away, the whole parking lot had more spots where it was radioactive than being around the tower itself.
Technically, it's a lot safer living right under a tower, huh?
Well, the medicine woman that I know on Maui lived about 25 feet from a tower. It was in the yard next door to her house.
Oh,
She
Jesus.
said she had people come in and test it and it was okay. 2 years ago, she died of an unknown death.
You would think it's pretty obvious.
Well, for people like you and me, yes, but not for the family or people around there. No.
Right.
So we go getting back to what's happening. Let's
A
get
shame.
everybody to hate the police. Then they don't want to deal with police. And now we'll be forced to deal with the federal government instead of the police. So that's how they take over, and that's how they're going to take over. And if people watch news and watch everything, they're going to be fed the programs that make them believe the system's changing the way that they want it to. You need to watch the Vice Channel, VICE. It's the only channel on the internet, on TV, that actually shows you the truth the best they can. They have a news show on every night. They have a special on every Monday. I didn't even watch it. I recorded it last night. And the title of it is, the rest of us die. And that's what it's titled. And it's showing you what Trump's doing, what presidents did already, what's happening every which way. People need to pull it up and watch it. It's the biggest eye-opener, and it's the closest to the truth you're going to hear online. I mean, they went to the reservation. to the pipeline when they were torturing the native people and showed it. They interviewed the hardcore people like drug addicts, pushers, dealers that make drugs, and they interview everybody. They show you the facts behind it. So if you want the truth, you need to get it or pull it up online, see what site. I think you can get it through not HBO, one of those cable channels. You can probably get it on a couple other ones. Check it out, see where you can pull it up and watch it. You need, even if it's just to watch that show, you need to watch it. Get a cable connection that will allow you to watch it. Please, I'm just telling you the truth. They have the stories, they have the truth, and if you want to hear it, that's where you need to go. Because the news is feeding us the same story twisted over and over right now, and they're increasing it. So I just got a nod that just went up. That means that, so it says like nobody's watching. But I guess who knows what that means. But they're blocking people. I mean, I'm on AOL for such a long time, and they're blocking almost every other letter I send. And the only trick I'll tell people right now, you want to put something online, change the word, spell a couple of the words wrong, just put a couple letters over the letter so that they know what the word is and that the computer can't pick it up. All right? And it goes on. So be careful, but get the truth out there. If you find any, put it up online. Send me anything you want. Hawksblood1AOL.com. Tina's open too. So if you want to ask questions, please do. You want to come on, please do. I got it out there. I think I put the link out there. If anybody wants to come on, come on. You got something to say? Come on if you can.
You know, what's so interesting is when I compare Tina's stories with all the UFO stories that George Norrie has or does, they are complete opposite. All these experiencers are saying, "Oh, they're here to help." I'm like, you must not have had the same experience Tina had, because.
So these people been abducted, have they?
Well, see, Tina, I'll let you talk. Let me just say this first. My word for experiencers, it's plural, and it means people that have an experience in their bedroom and they wake up and they had this great experience. It means they're full of baloney. They're programmed, they're mind programmed, whether it's by government, by aliens, or anything, but they're programmed. Even if they've been abducted, they were still programmed to believe it was good.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the sad part. Now, like you said, I was involved with UFO people when I was young. I saw women that had 8.5 months pregnant, and then they went for a sonogram, and the day after the baby was gone, went back to the hospital, and they said she wasn't pregnant. So, I mean, there's proof there, a lot of proof, but you don't see any of that with the UFO people. They just want to tell the magnificent stories of beautiful, loving aliens coming here to help us. And it's so far from this truth, because mainstream multimillionaire people, who are they doing all these horrible things? What are they doing it for? And it's about creating a world that the government doesn't need, but aliens do. So we have to start relating what's happening to what's really happening. And that's why I tell people, give our link out to everybody you can, bring them on. I do a couple spiritual shows as well to show where it's going spiritually, because that's being attacked every which way as well.
Mm-hmm.
They're destroying mankind's ability to think and function as a human, and program them to think like a program instead. And everybody's supporting artificial intelligence. No, you don't support it. You don't allow it, but we are. And Mr. Musk and Trump and Gates and all those people are playing the game of let's push it in. Let's create a world where robots control it. All right, I'm going to give it back to Tina.
Oh, sorry, Sasha. Was Sasha going to say something then?
Well, I was just curious, Tina. Have you considered getting on a George Norrie show and setting things straight in terms of abductions and all that stuff?
Yeah, well, I will. It depends, because he does face-to-face now, which obviously because of COVID you can't do. I'd be quite happy to Skype him. I'll have to get his email address and Skype him. We could have a Skype interview, because he's obviously in the States.
I got your emails, Tina. You want to do it?
I'll
send
me down with George Norrie.
I am so sick of hearing the same stories from all these abductees, and I'm like, I'd love to for once just hear, the truth on the mainstream platform.
I found people don't want to hear the truth. They want to hear
entertainment. It's
Yeah,
entertainment.
they want to hear entertainment, or they want to hear, I'm a psychic and I've been in a glowing room and I had a pleasant experience and they told me all these wonderful things and keep up the good fight. And that's all a load of crap. I'm sorry. If they've taken you and you've not been strapped or stuck to a table and they've done these awful things to you, then they must really hate me, for some reason. I must not be. That has just been my experience. I see nothing good in being taken against your will. There's nothing good in that. There's nothing pleasurable in that. It's against my consent. I've never consented to it. I don't want chunks ripped out of my body. Wide awake. I mean, I'm awake. I can see this. You're frightened to death. You can't physically move. You're being tortured while you're awake. In my book, and I think you find in the United Nations book, that is called War Crimes, is it not? They did things like that to people in World War II and One, and that's considered war crimes. So, is this war crimes against humanity? And if so, what part of the government defence is doing that? I mean, if you're telling me some 6 foot gorgeous blonde bloke with blue eyes come and took you in the night, you've obviously been reading one of my fantasy books. For me, they've been 3 foot tall, pretty ugly, very quick, and
people want to accept the stories of Inky and the Anunnaki because basically it's a good story. Well, they were bad. They brought him down. He wanted to help mankind and all the stories. I said, if somebody wanted to help mankind, we would have moved forward. Any point, if somebody was here to help mankind and still alive, wait, he's still alive today. The stories about him are all over the place and the UFO world accepts it. But Jesus came here and they killed him. They didn't want to hear his real story. So we got this brainwashed program people coming out greatly in large numbers now. Oh, this race is helping us. This race is going to help us. Going to and helping are two different words. When a ship's sinking, wasn't it like time you should have helped the boat before it sank, not when it's going down? You don't wait till it's on the boat. Maybe we should dive down and rescue some of those people that are drowning on a boat. No, you help it before it's sunk. So we're at a place where everything's crashing, and people are going to see it. And whether they realize what to do or not is going to be hard because they're not programmed to think beyond the box. Well, I can't leave this box.
Their logic is, we'll wait after the ship sinks. That way we won't have to do anything.
Right. And then if there's any gold on it, we'll go get the gold.
What people don't learn and understand, this is just my point of view. I'm just a professional abductee. All I am is an abductee. I can't discount other people's stories. All I can tell you is my own and how it's been for me and how I see things. But even if you look back in Earth's history, when has any alien contact ever gone well for human beings? Like Tommy said, what is a positive outcome? If they're taking people and doing tests on them, it's not for our benefit. We've seen no benefit from that. If they're taking stuff from us they can't produce, DNA, cells, blood, fetal material, whatever it is they're taking for their benefit. If you look that through the Bible, nothing ever good, whatever fairy tale has ever ended well for the human race. Whatever proverb, whatever folklore, fairy tale or story has ever ended well for the human race, not one. And if the human race hasn't learned that by now, then we're pretty stupid.
Well, see, Christianity is a big percentage of the planet, and so is Muslims. And their concept of their teachings from supposedly Jesus and from Moses and from Gabriel, all right, was man-created ideas. It's not what they were teaching. Angels
but even those created ideas said, mankind's been human beings, they've been really naughty, let's kill them all in a flood. Let's just drown the whole human race. And that says it in every book. And they can even prove that today in the fossil record. So whether there's aliens flooding the earth or God's demise, any way you look at it, when human beings are naughty, they're killed, they're drowned, they're no longer needed. If they're no longer needed and they're repopulated on the earth, what are we repopulating the earth for that evil? Well, sorry, they can't have it both ways.
Well, they try, and they keep trying. That's why I say we're in hell. And until people realize that, I want to make this better. How do you make anything better? In the past 30,000 years, mankind has destroyed and created more weapons than ever. I mean, I don't know what kind of alien ships
I
had
think that we
those
lost
kind of
so
weapons.
much technology. We've lost so much technology and weaponry over the years. We've lost the ability to do so much. It's unreal. We've forgotten more
Well,
than we've
don't
learned.
forget, don't forget, alien races never did anything good ever. When they came to this planet, they didn't do anything good. People don't. Well, the Anunnaki made us better. No, they didn't.
I
The
mean, the
race.
stories, like the crashes, the soldiers that have been first on the scene, they've all died from radiation poisoning. Abductees that have been taken from cancer. People that have been around these people, or to cover up secrets that these beings are alive, allowed other human beings to be killed, to be silenced. That is not good for mankind or the truth.
Bill,
Am I just am I being self-centered? Is that just my view? Am I being too critical? What is that? Because I don't see any of this being good. Am I a negative person? None of this is being good for mankind, as far as I can see. You tell me what part of any of that is good.
9/11, when it happened, was still alive today. The problem is the people
Yeah.
that died of radioactive poisoning of their bodies and everything else. How did that happen? Where did it come from? See, they'll never explain that. I mean, Putin asked Trump to come out and say the truth about it, but he won't. Nobody in the United States will admit what really went down. And you have to look at reasonings behind we don't get the truth. Well, if the world knew what the United States did with aliens, they would not be looking for aliens for help. And they don't want that to happen yet.
As a side note, Tommy, have you been able to find that video clip of Putin?
No. It was a couple months before Trump was elected, and it was in Russian, so you're not going to find it. I have two videos I had of the head of the army supply of Russia saying we could take the United States out in 15 minutes.
15?
So 15 minutes.
So why can't they take the aliens out?
See, that's the problem. There's a big problem there. I mean, the United States know how to kill reptilians and greys now with a certain vibration and everything else. But by the same token, don't think aliens aren't way ahead of us at any given time. They are. We only learned how to go back and forth in time over the past, 60 years? Imagine they knew it thousands of years ago, how to go back and forth in time.
You
Why
need,
the Pleiadians is
I
here.
mean, I think they need to look back further. I mean, I'm talking hundreds of millions of years, because I don't think there's no way human life evolved on a planet that is willing to kill you at every turn. I mean, if you get poison oxygen, it's going to kill you. If you drink poison water, it's going to kill you. If you get gas escape from the earth, it's going to kill you. You get killed from the radiation from the sun. You get killed from other human beings. You get killed from the heat. You get killed from the weather. We are not attuned to this environment. We live in such a small measured gap on this planet. Our subsistence is you know, I can't believe we're still alive today on a planet that's going to kill you at every turn. I don't think we're meant to be here on this planet.
Well, we don't go into the spiritual side, Tina, usually ever. So I don't want to go into too much detail. But there were 9 races here in the beginning when Thoth the Atlantean brought them down here. We weren't born here. We weren't hatched here. We weren't popped out of a meteorite crashing here. No, it didn't happen. It didn't produce. Why would it produce humans and not other more creatures like we had all these other creatures we do have? How did they all get here? The same meteorite crashed and produced, and it kept changing from that worst little cell to human. Really, no possible way. Every scientist now has to admit it's impossible for that to happen. When something mutates, like the virus, it doesn't mutate to get better. It just mutates. To make a perfect system like the human body is or was is impossible to do it by itself. Because every time it mutates, it would take on more problems rather than just all positive ideas and energy and all the other words that go along with it. But as long as mankind accepts these people's twisted ideas, aliens are helping us. They made us better. The Anunnaki helped us become better.
So, in my view, Sasha or Tommy, in all these interviews with George Noory and people like that, what evidence or message has been given to these experiences, and why do they say they were chosen for a reason, or they're just like me? They just you don't know what is the positive message of these aliens being here saying? Because I'd love to know that.
From listening to all the stories, it's all been, I think, planted positive. Oh, the world's going to get better. peace on peace on this planet, love, and all that stuff.
Well,
So is that their perception of what the aliens have actually told him?
I think it's what they shoved in their brain after they got done experimenting with him.
Could
well,
be.
all right. Somebody I know, Bruce Cornett, he's a scientist. He was on a show with one of the people I used to do a show with on and off with TJ. But her show is Aquarian Radio.
Yeah, I know
And
Aquarium. I've been on there.
she had 3 people on, all right? And yeah, she won't come near me. She's afraid to. But she was on with my friend and 3 other people, all claiming to be super psychics and everything else under the sun. Listen to the stuff they're putting out there, including the person I know, and I know him for 25 years, going on about his son is the birth of Jesus and all these things, and how these people make these stories and expect everybody to believe it. But I'm dealing with that on mainstream because I just had to listen to it. My friend said, "Don't listen to this show." I had to write 10 letters, emails underneath it. And I said, anybody that pulls that show up, hope they read some of the things underneath it, because basically there's nothing beneficial to the human race or helping mankind understand what's really happening. Feeding more stories. I know your book's a story, but it's for entertainment.
Oh,
In
my
life,
book.
show your book.
It's a fairy tale. It's made up. This is like imagination, fiction.
So, I mean, that's one thing, but to put a book out and say this is really important, and then it's filled with a bunch of bull stories. So, I don't know how we're going to get any more truth coming to the world in a greater way than unless people realize that if they don't do something now, they never will. Like Tina, you're saying, they will take the world out in a great number. 7.4 billion will be reduced to probably 1.4 billion, if that. And they'll be happy. They'll have enough people to do whatever they need done on this planet. Now, I can only tell you that people. Wait. Let me finish this. They are created grays in army bases in the United States to rebuild the planet after it's radioactive, and they're living underground. People don't want to hear that. Oh no, that's not real. Well, it's real, and you will see it happening very soon. Tina, well, we got to worry about how to keep you safe with your radiation. But even right now, unless the aliens say they're going to keep you alive and help you, people on this planet don't have a cure for it right now. So, but I think they have some way to control it because it's on and off for you. Radiation can't be turned on and off unless you're talking about the CERN. When they turn it on, it's active. When it's off, it's off. Yeah. So somehow they're turning it on and off within you.
Yeah, that's crazy. Unless you come up with some kind of tech that instantly neutralizes radiation and then activates it again.
Well, we live on a radioactive planet, so it's a bit hard, isn't it?
No, but it's getting more radioactive is the problem. And
5G, 6G. I can't wait until they come out with 10G. That's going to be nice.
Well, it's already out, but they're not going to let us have it yet. But here's the thing. There's this giant mass coming off the sun right now. And it was going in and coming out. So whether it had to do with a super giant solar flare or not on the sun, this giant wave is coming, and it'll be coming towards us again real soon.
You're talking about a CME?
They don't know what it is. It's gigantic. You got to pull it up online.
Oh wait, this is something else than the CME then.
This is right now. It's happening right now. It's coming out of the sun, and it looks like a giant wave of massive energy.
And it takes about 38 minutes to hit the Earth, doesn't it?
Well, see, here's the thing.
It takes sunlight 8 minutes to hit.
Yeah.
No. The major impact comes that fast, but the results of the radioactive poisoning comes within 2 years.
Oh, so wonderful.
It takes a year at least for the radiation to hit us.
We're all screwed then.
Oh no, we have been. We've been screwing ourselves into the ground so bad.
I think they've zapped me already. Let me just check, because I tell you what, I've got that already.
Well, I do it. Go ahead, John, Sasha.
Go on, Sasha.
No, I was just gonna say, I wonder if there's any correlation with people feeling weird and CMEs or weird events like this.
Well,
could be.
You know, I don't know anybody right now that's not going through some kind of major problem. My good friend, I'm not going to go much into it, but she just got the okay to leave the hospital last night. She was doing something important and came down with the virus. It's the second time she had it within this year. She got it the last time in December when it wasn't even classified.
Hmm.
So now I didn't even know she would pull out. I'm glad she did. Uh, but all her friends around her have it. I don't know how they're doing. I didn't get to talk to her about that. So, there's a virus out there. It's making people sick. But how the government and how the world treats it, it makes it grow. Instead of decreasing it, they feed it. Putting it on an oxygen machine is usually going to kill a person if they stay on it too long. So,
It's
again,
attacking. See, people are not dying from the COVID-19. They're dying from their human immune system response to it. It's not the COVID-19 killing people. The virus is attacking the immune system, and the immune system is attacking itself. It's the human's immune system response. Now, you're going to give somebody an injection that's going to kill the human's response to a virus. That's leaving you open for all kinds of infections in the future, surely.
Well, right, because it's forcing an autoimmune response, which then in case causes extreme inflammation, and that's why the people are dying. And when your body has with a serious inflammation, putting an individual on a respirator is a no-no, because that's just going to damage the lungs. You're forcing something that's already inflamed. You're treating it the wrong way.
Yeah.
well, I did a show a couple months ago with Laura Eisenhower. All right. And she doesn't know much about her grandfather. I probably know more about her grandfather than she does. I mean, her mother didn't give her all the details about who Eisenhower really was, what he was involved with, what he was really doing. But her mother was lecturing about UFOs and all that stuff as well. But and Majestic and all that. But MJ-12 was created by Truman, not Eisenhower. So Eisenhower doesn't know half of the truth behind it. I knew somebody from Majestic 12, and they were responsible for blocking every aspect of alien information to the world. So, and unless people realize that the truth that the government's putting out, including Mr. Trump, because Laura Eisenhower supports Trump and doing all these prayers and everything, saying he's so good. And really, if you listen to the stories, which is basically all you hear, everything sounds good. All the UFO stories, all the religious stories, all the spiritual speakers, we're going to become six-dimensional beings, and all the stories are beautiful.
Oh,
I mean, they believe in the knight on a white horse coming in. Do they really? They do, and that's scary.
anything coming into this atmosphere is either aliens or going to be a huge asteroid.
As a side note, I posted a link in the chat. This is just one of many alternative, treatment methods for getting rid of COVID. Just an FYI.
Oh, we have to go beyond this right now. All I'm going to tell you is, I wear a mask, right or wrong. Oh, I just wore a mask around to my friend's house. Oh, what are you wearing a mask for? What are you, crazy? What are you? I said, I'm boycotting.
Tommy, I bet you're wearing that Trump 2020 face mask, aren't you?
No, what is it?
No.
Put it off. No, I make a bunch of them.
I think they're really hot.
I know they got so many custom. Oh, you look cool. Is that like?
What the hell is that sock? What is that?
Nice. I was gonna say sock, but I wasn't sure.
So I made a whole bunch of masks out of socks. Really
nice.
Cool ones.
Hey, you can start making money.
Oh no, people offered me $20 for them already. Really? That stupid thing.
Yeah, that's hey.
Did you know masks are only good for up to 75 washes if you wear them every single day for more than 4 hours?
Mm-hmm.
Basically, you can wash them and sterilize them. It doesn't matter. It's not going to help you. All right. I just do it because, you spit when you talk and things like that.
So even when you wear a mask here in the UK, with this new spread they had on the news yesterday, you could walk past somebody with a mask on. They have a mask on. It's got to be airborne. It's got to be
They're
airborne.
telling you that.
Hmm?
They're telling you that. They're telling you that. How can they prove that? How could they say there's 17 different viruses right now?
Well, it's 17 different with the
how can
tests
you
from the
prove
new
that?
COVID. Well,
How can
this is what our lead scientific advisor is saying.
Well, what I'm saying is, no, they're filling the world with fear, the highest level they can. Now they're going to stop countries from mixing and going to each other. What do? You stop the United States from going to the rest of the world. That's how you stop destroying the United States. All right. Wait till it hits Australia. It's already hitting Australia. Wait till it hits China, and then it goes back to Africa. All right. We got a chain. And once you start breaking down the communication barriers, you start implanting more laws and more things to happen. So it's a slow Agenda 21 starts this year. And people need to at least read what it meant, what it has to do with, and what they're really planning on. All the countries, I think, except maybe a few countries, agreed on it in 1998. So they agreed on this a long time ago.
So the one thing I would say, if you look back, people agreeing on things, to our show about a year ago, is it last year, 2018 to 2019, it's got to be a year, 2019 to 20. At the end of 2018, I gave a lecture, which was recorded. They asked me to go and talk about my experience with David Hodgson, my investigator who investigated my case. And I said to them then, one of these, when they took me, they asked me to stay with them. They gave me a choice. They said, you could stay with us, but you could never go back to Earth, or you could go back and you're going to die. And they showed me horrible images of the Earth and lots of other things. It was so quick, you couldn't get a grasp on it. And they said that something was going to happen, a war. This war would start in 2018. It would become more prevalent in 2019, 2020, and it'd be over by 2022. Now, they didn't say what type of war or what would happen. They just said it would affect the whole Earth.
Well, interesting. I wonder if it's a cyber war.
It's probably this bloody COVID.
Well, Sasha, Mr. Sergeant 18 and I were really good friends at one time. And we used to go up to the mountain where we filmed all this weird stuff where Tesla was working.
Yeah.
But in that, he came out and said one night, it was 2 days before my birthday, in 2 days, a ship's going to crash. It did. I think it was in Greenland. And the only film they had was like a security film in front of a parking lot, and it filmed the ship crash. I was dealing with a Hopi medicine man at the time, and he said, "Oh, that's not real." He goes, "Prove it." And I said, "Prove anything right now." But he also said that the world's going to be destroyed by a virus. He says it's going to come.
Oh, snap.
And he said that years ago. He was pretty close for how he said that would happen. It's going to be brought down by an alien race. He said it that way, and it's going to affect everybody. So, I mean, people are shown things, whether it's from their own spiritual awareness or some aliens or angels, whatever you want to call it, feed us the truth here and there. What we do with that is up to us. Now, Sergeant also said in 2034, the Scottish are going to come down and destroy Lucifer, not Satan, and make the world better. I don't see that possibly happen in any which way. But again, we're given stuff. It's up to us to translate it, and then how do we bring it out to the world? We got so many things now. Tina knows what's going on a ship, at least, which most people have no concept of.
As a side note, I have to say, Tina, you took that door hit like a champ.
Thanks. It really hurt.
Anyway, so with this 2018 to the 2022 prediction, do you guys personally see that coming to fruition, or has it already, and we just didn't realize it was as bad as it would be?
I don't think we've seen the worst of it. I think originally I thought, it would come and go. And if you look back years ago, it's been 100 years since we had a plague here in Britain. It was a Spanish flu, Spanish influenza, that killed millions of people here in the UK. and it's been 100 years. So to keep the population down, we had World War One, World War Two, the Crimean War, the Vietnam War. We had, so every 25 years or so, we used to have a major war. Peace kind of broke out, and then they had these little sub wars to kill the population down in different countries. I still have no idea what's going on in other parts of the country, of the world, where they're just annihilating cities. I still hasn't I don't know what that's about. But in the last 25 years, we haven't had what I call a significant world war to bring the population down. Then all of a sudden, wham bam, thank you, ma'am, from China is a homemade COVID-19. I thought originally it was because it was released in 2019, but apparently it's not. It affects the DNA strand 9, 13, 15, and most significantly 19, the strand 19 on the human DNA. So with all this, this is definitely hitting older populations. Italy suffered a lot, and a lot of deaths apparently. This is aimed at the human race. It's definitely man-made. I know animals and what have you can catch it, but it's done to bring the population numbers down.
Well, here's what I see happening right now. All right. Yes, we're overpopulating. Not that that's a bad thing. We could control it and make it work, but we don't. But here's what's happening. The scenario is being influenced upon people is not the true scenario. But China, which is going to be World War III, will happen soon. Once they break down the United States, which is what the UN agenda said, let's break down and destroy the United States so we can create one world order. China, in the interim, in the past 10 years, guess when it started? 1998 or 1998 when they created the UN Agenda 21. All right. They started building these super army bases in the ocean around China. In the past, 5 years now, they're flooding Canada with loads and loads of armies.
Okay.
Yeah, you said that before.
So who are they preparing to attack and get ready to? Yeah. Once the United States is completely broken down by the virus, it'll be so easy for them to move into it. Once the riots start, and they're talking about forcing people to get it, coming in people's houses, making them get the injection, people will react. There'll be so many rioting people, it will be so much easier for them to come and take it over. So I feel we will be in war with China, not Israel, not Iraq, not these other countries. One thing. They okayed just this past week $5 trillion to go to another country, Iran, one of those stupid things, rather than giving it back to the people of the United States. They're going to give us $600 now. They okayed that. We'll probably get the $600 by New Year's. So rather than giving people in the United States money, they're giving it to a country that we really don't need to be spending all our money on. Now, you have to look at that. Why? Why would you do something so ridiculous? You got an answer, Tasha?
I was going to say, our tax dollars are going to some other country.
Welcome to the UK, mate, because nearly 90% of all of ours goes in foreign aid, foreign charities, helping the EU out, the Intermonetary Fund for the European Union. And lots of money, just not 60. For me, it seems more, just seems to leave our country. But the question I was going to ask, if China's becoming more aggressive or dominant in the world, they have their own astronauts and space program, and recently landed as another rover on Mars and the moon. Yeah. Where are all these pictures and the collaborations between all these different governments? I'd like to see the pictures, because it is the tax dollars in every country being spent.
China is not part of our space program.
Yeah, but they have their own. But surely they have a bilateral agreement to share photographs and information.
See, that's wrong. When the United States destroyed all the pictures of the moon, you know who gave them back to us?
China.
Japan.
Oh, yeah.
They said, "Oh, we got your pictures. Don't worry. You can lose all you want. We have them." And they gave them back to us because the government was trying to cover up the bases and a couple of little pictures on the moon because they were all blocked out from the original pictures. So right now, like what I'm trying to say is China's getting ready for what they want to be the world order. They built a giant complex in China, 10, 20 years ago? Within that, there's not anybody in it. And they're going to fill it up with people. Who do you think
what I'm saying is all these all these things they're building, the underground bases, the people living and working them now, when they finish in 20, 25 years' time, by the time they get to tell their story, like me and other people that have come forward, it's been 25 years. It's old history. Nobody's living them. If they are, they're not coming forward. They're doing secret things in these bases, which they've been doing for years. But then they're not believing the people that they've employed or the people that's been living it and seeing it and saying, this has happened. They're keeping aliens here. This is doing it. It's all pie in the sky. I don't believe it until I see it. Well, these people have seen it. They've believed it. You've paid them to serve your country and they're telling you this is going on. Why is that not being listened to and acted on? They've got all this news and media. They believe in all this COVID stuff, all these laws come in. They didn't need secrecy laws. If there wasn't aliens, you wouldn't need secrecy laws. If they were going to kill people, which they do, they're not going to advertise it anyway. You know, all this stuff goes on, but they're not believing their own people that they're employing
Mm-hmm.
in any way.
We have people that try to bring the truth out, like Jesse Ventura.
Yeah, I remember him.
His show was probably the most important show at that time. He exposed the FEMA camps. He was exposing the HARP system. He was exposing the underground cities. He was exposing everything that needed to be. And he did 2.5 years. The third year, they stopped him. All right,
You know, the interesting part is he exposed all that through biased, point of view. He says, okay, I'm not going to believe it until I see the evidence. Now go out and investigate this. And it would all came true.
So that's the way you prove things. I mean, all the UFOs, the ghost specials. Well, let's go prove it. What kind of facts can we prove?
Well, that's what happens. That professor, he's a psychiatrist, I believe, John Mack, was it? He said no, he wasn't going to believe in alien abduction. Then he psychoanalyzed and reviews loads of these psychological cases, and he came to the conclusion within months of doing this, within 2 years, he'd had a book out saying alien abduction is real. It's a real phenomenon, and it's really happening, and it should be looked at in a deeper field. And when that thing in Ariel in South Africa, was it, when the spaceship landed and got out and they spoke to the children, he went there and investigated that as well. So this is a man who is an American citizen, went to other countries, top psychiatrist in his field, telling you that normal people and people in the military and every other profession are experiencing abductions and aliens are coming here. Where is the trillions of dollars funding that?
Well, the government doesn't fund the truth coming out. So people with money need to do it. Now, the Skinwalker Ranch was given up by Bigelow to this millionaire guy.
Yeah.
And he just did a 6-part series about the Skinwalker Ranch. They showed a creature, one of the animals they had mutilated.
Didn't they? They even filmed a UFO there, didn't they, recently?
They filmed a UFO, yeah, but that's nothing. John Edmond, the person I was working with for a couple of years, I brought Kerry Cassidy out there. She filmed the ship right over the house. We filmed aliens on the property. So, and there's more things going on there than any other place that I know of right now. I don't know what happened to him because I broke my friendship with him because of many reasons.
Yeah.
But the problem is they don't want that out there. And anybody that goes there can go there. He'll bring people on and let them stay there and stuff. But, it's people that have to spend their own money to get their own proof for themselves. And truthfully, it doesn't really matter how many people on the planet you're going to get to believe, because it's what you're going to do with your life pertaining to the events that are going to happen around the programmed ideas. Now, I'm dealing with a family saying, well, they're going to get all these different weapons. I said, you can get bazookas, cannons, hand grenades, and everything else, which is illegal, and have them there. But when the government decides to take you in, how many people do you think you're going to be able to take out before they take you out? Even if you take out 10, 20, it doesn't matter. If you try, they're going to take you out. If they want you out of the picture, they will take you out.
I think over the years they've spent too much money in weaponry. I think the human body and the human brain has more capability of doing things through contact, through communication with other things and beings, and distance. I don't think that they've really done enough research.
Well,
Never mind putting into making weapons.
Go online and type, how much does each country spend on weaponry? Canada spends a fortune. I mean, even Greenland, Finland, these countries spend a fortune on weapons. Check it out. I mean, the United States and China spend the most money. But check out the money these countries spend. Why?
Yeah.
They're all preparing for what? What do they expect to happen? A nuclear war goes off. Nobody's going to have a chance to play with their little toys. I mean, you destroy the right now. You destroy the satellites up there. The world would be destroyed in a short period of time.
Well,
Yeah.
guys, I'm going to say my last goodbyes in a minute. We're going to round it up. This is going to be our
I
last
was
show
hoping I
before
was trying to
Christmas.
get you out to see the clock. I
Oh, I'm
was
not
trying to
going
keep
yet.
the
I'll just say
clock
we've got a few minutes. Anything you were really dying to talk about before we go? Sasha?
Tina, no, let Tina promote her books before she leaves. Go ahead, sell up your books again.
So I have this book here. It's by T.A. Baird. That's me. It's called The Guardians, the Light and the Brotherhood of the Night. You can find it on Amazon Kindle. It's in paperback, hardback not yet, and it's going to be re-released because I'm not happy with the printing on it, but it's good. It's $9.99 for the book and $4.99 on download. I've also recently, last week, Friday, released a book on Amazon Kindle, Amazon Unlimited Kindle, which is free. Amazon download is $4.99, and you can buy the paperback. Is being released tomorrow as we speak, and it's called The Checkpoint. That is classed as an erotic book. It's an adult book, and it's a short story. I've been asked to write 2 more, so it will be a trilogy. Part 2, the Two-Edged Shore, will be released just before Valentine's Day and just before or after my 50th birthday and 2 months time.
So was that out of frustration with sex with aliens?
No. I'm considering writing my book about my experiences, but I'm really holding back until I've got to wait till I've been hypnotized first.
No, you need to do that. Really. I mean, people need to know the real stories of abduction, not experiences. It's time, because people say, well, aliens are only going to work with us when we ask them to. No, we didn't ask them to abduct anybody, ever. So, people live in a freaking powder puff world. They don't want the facts. They don't want the truth. They don't want to believe that there's bad things happening. But guess what? We're in hell, and a lot of bad things are happening. Well, Tina, it was a pleasure. It's always a pleasure. Look good, feel good, stay safe. Try to stay away from the radiation as much as you can, which is almost impossible.
I can't, I'm admitting it.
But good luck with the medical thing coming up. I hope it's a little bit better.
Yeah.
And say, well, look, how do you cure radiation poisoning? There has to be something coming up.
Why do human beings emit radiation? I shouldn't be emitting a radiation.
If you know anybody that claims they're friends with Majestic 12, I ain't. My friend died. Anybody in that, I am sure they have a cure for it. I mean,
if anybody can help me, please help me and can tell me why I'm emitting my radiation. I'll be grateful. Well, this is my last. It's gone.
As a side note, I was going to say it was good seeing you again, talking to you. I know I've missed the last couple of weeks, so.
Well, we've missed you. I've missed your comments, and that did hurt my toe. Actually, it's still killing me now. I've got my toe jammed in the door. This is our last broadcast. So Merry Christmas to everybody here in the UK. Merry Christmas to everybody in the States and in Canada and around the world, and anybody watching this right now. We will see you on the 29th of December, which is a Tuesday, next Tuesday. Is that right, guys?
29th, correct.
Yep. So we'll see you on the 29th. I'll let you know if I have my appointment between now and then. If you guys would please contact George Nuri and ask him, give him my details. He can debate me. He can have a chat. And I'm even willing to go face to face with him.
I can give you all the information because he hates me because I've been texting him a lot.
Okay.
But, you think you got something going on, but you don't.
I can certainly do that, Tommy. If you can send that information to me, I can do that.
Because I sent him so many letters and saying, "Look, you bring these idiots on. You don't."
Oh boy, you're on his hit list now, huh?
Yeah, you're so you're still there.
I don't know what happened there. I just kind of went off the screen.
You cut yourself off. But have a good Christmas. If we don't talk before, enjoy whatever. Hope Santa Claus is nice to you. Maybe he'll come and bring you a good gift.
Right. Yeah. Happy holidays, there, Tina.
Thank you. So I look forward to you guys setting up, especially you, Sasha. Tell George Nuri if he wants to interview a real abductee, he can talk to me. It'd be fun. Just give many details.
Along with my email, I'll make sure to karate chop him.
Okay. Right. Merry Christmas, everybody. Bye-bye, guys. Stay safe. Bye-bye. See you soon. Bye-bye.
All right. Bye, Tina.
Well, so yeah, that's our.
Do you have my email?
I don't know, but text me, hawksblood1aol.com, and then I'll send it right back.
I don't think you have my Hotmail.
Well, like I said, send me an email,
Yep.
hawksblood1AOL.com from there, and then I'll have it and I'll send it back to you. Did you get that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I'm going to probably do a show by the end of this weekend again, probably around Christmas, maybe even Christmas. I know the other person that we deal with, that I don't deal with, is doing a show on Christmas, and they're going to have a couple people on there. But, I don't like to promote stories that have useless information, useless truth, and are definitely not beneficial for the person to think about it even. I try to give people ways to think about what's happening, what to do, what are they going to prepare for. Not like, we're going to sit here and wait for the good aliens to come down. Well, when's that going to be? Never. So it never happened in history. Why would it happen now? I mean, even the saviors that came here to try to bring some truth were killed and everything else. So it's not about that. It's about learning who and what you are with inside yourself. And that's why I tell you, Sasha, the only truth you're going to need is inside you. You just got to find it.
Mm-hmm.
So for everybody out there,
Very true.
thank you for listening, calling in, whatever. The message line is open. Text me or text Tina anytime. We'll bring the questions up. I'll bring it on my other show as well. If you want something important to say, come on. I'll bring you on another show. But the truth needs to come out. If you have any or think you have any, I mean, everybody has their truth, but I mean something beneficial in any way, please call me, get in touch with me. This isn't about money, my show. It never has been and never will be. I mean, you want to send donations, that could be help. Maybe I could increase the number of population of people on the show and stuff like that. But I'm not doing entertainment. I'm not an entertainer. I used to be. I'm not on that game plan right now. I'm trying to bring truth out in a respected way, coming from honesty, compassion, and truth, not coming from imaginary, twisted, programmed ideas, which most people are.
Just as the famous Miyamoto Musashi once said, truth is not something that you can make up. It's I'm paraphrasing here. You can't force it, and if you do, you're living a lie, basically.
Well, mankind has been living a lie for a very long time. They're living so far from the truth, it's scary. My phrase is, mankind only wants to create toys. Nothing else. Nothing else. And even the sexual part of their desires are turning into robots, rubberized robot dummies and everything else. So that's where mankind's going. Toys, 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 bigger toys, more expensive toys, better toys. Nothing beneficial to spiritual growth, awareness, or even compassion with family. So sorry, people, you're living in hell, whether you want to look at it or not, you should be. All right. It's time to wake up, smell the roses, and then go out and start working in a beneficial way for yourself, at least. So with that, Sasha, it's always a pleasure. I'm glad you came on.
Yeah, same here. Thanks for having me. And as a side note, I went ahead and sent that email.
Okay, cool. All right, and I'll get it back to you in a little bit. I got to do a few things right away. I didn't get a chance to walk the dog. I got up late, and I have to take him out first thing in the morning.
Gizmo.
So he's not even in the room right now, believe it or not. So until next time, everybody, peace, love, compassion, whatever you need in your life. Hope you look for it, find it, and work for it. Spiritual growth doesn't happen overnight. Doesn't happen easily. It's probably the hardest thing you're ever going to want to do if you really want to do it. But I'm telling you, it's the only thing that's worth doing the hard work to do to get to it. Everything else is pitiful. Learning how to go to college and more colleges to get a degree to do what? Build a house, build a car, and do what? It has nothing to do with you and your soul and where you're going to go and all the other things that are much more important.
Amen to that. Everybody take care. You have a good one, Tommy.
Take it easy, Sasha. Next time. All right, everybody. Hope you enjoyed the show. Please send this link to everybody out there. It's not that I want a following, but we should have a following because people need to know the truth. And I'm telling you, you will hear it here. Love and light. Till next time.